Welcome to Bible Time with Mr. J. Today we've been talking about the effects our actions have, and I want to pick up where we left off in our Bible story last week because we left off on kind of a sad note. See, Adam and Eve had just made a bad choice, and with that bad choice, they allowed sin to enter into the world. Now that action had all sorts of effects, not just on Adam and Eve, but on their descendants as well, which includes me and you. Sin coming into the world now meant that there was going to be sickness and pain and suffering and death. And as bad as all of that sounds, it wasn't even the worst part. The worst part is that it meant separation from God. You see, God is perfect. So perfect that he can't even be around sin. For Adam and Eve, that meant they had to leave the Garden of Eden forever. That they no longer got to walk and talk with God. But do you think that means God stopped loving them because of their sin? Wait, do you think that means that God doesn't love us because of our sin? Absolutely not. God still loved Adam and Eve very much, even though they had sinned. And even though you and I sin, God still loves us very much too. In fact, God made a promise to Adam and Eve in Genesis 3:15. He says this, "I will cause great hostility between you and the woman, and between your offspring and her offspring. He will strike your head, and you shall strike at his heel." That's certainly a weird promise, isn't it? Let's talk about this for a minute. First of all, who is God talking to in this passage? Well, he's talking to the serpent. Now, the serpent is the one in the Garden of Eden who twisted God's words and tricked Eve into eating the fruit. Now, not that Eve was completely without blame here. She could have chosen to not listen to the lies of the serpent, but she didn't. She listened to his lies and she ate the fruit. And she brought the fruit to Adam and he ate the fruit. Now, the serpent was actually Satan. So what God was basically saying here is that one day a descendant of Eve was going to come and defeat the serpent, or Satan, once and for all. Bye-bye. But not without going through some suffering on his own first. He was telling Adam and Eve right then, right there, in the midst of their sin, in the midst of their mistake, that there was hope. Hope that one day he would send a Redeemer who would wipe away all the sins of man and bring us back into a perfect relationship with God. That Redeemer was Jesus. But you know what? There are a lot of things that happened in between when Adam and Eve sinned and when Jesus would come. We're going to talk about all those things in the next several episodes. And some of the stuff we're going to talk about that happened was really good. And some of that stuff that we're going to talk about is going to be really bad. And you know, that's kind of like our lives. Sometimes really good things happen, and sometimes really bad things happen. And it's really important that we understand the promise that God made to Adam and Eve and the effect that that action has for all of us. That if we allow Jesus to be a part of our lives, all of our stories have a happy ending. Wow. Hey, thanks so much for watching my video. If you liked it, go ahead and press the like button down over there. If you really, really liked it, go ahead and press the subscribe button down over there. That way, whenever you log on, my videos will show up in your feed. If you've got any questions for me or want to submit an idea for one of my next videos, you can visit my website at mrj.fun and click the Submit an Idea link in the upper right-hand side. I hope you guys have an unbelievably blessed day. Mr. J,